Hey everybody, and welcome back to another horror film lovers first time watch Friday. I'm your host, Jonathan Moody, and we got a really fun show for you guys. First of all, I want to apologize for last week and missing an episode because I was really busy with like a million things, and if you know me, you know that's right. I've got like a million projects going on at once. And last week was just so freaking super busy that I think I was also super exhausted. And so by Thursday, I just couldn't do anything. But I thought I'd make up to you guys and actually do four this week. So I'm recording four episodes back to back to back. And then I'm gonna get up to a 30 episodes, and that'll be the show. So anyway, without further ado, we're gonna be talking about Gatlopp, hell of a game, which I think is the worst kind of tagline for it, but I think because the distributor probably thought, oh man, Gatlopp doesn't sound like, like a horror film. So they had to say something to make it, sound like a horror film. And it does feel like it's from hell, you know. So uh I don't know how much spoilers I'm gonna do. I usually don't do many spoilers on like movies that are only like episodes that are only like 15 minutes long, just because I don't want many people hearing it. And then, and I really want you guys to watch this movie because this is probably one of my favorite movies on Tubi. So first of all, it is on Tubi. You can watch it for free there. And I was stumbling upon it because Tubi knows what I like or whatever. They know what movies I've watched. They kind of have a clue. So they suggested this, and I was like, Gatlopp, hell of a game. Like, what is this? So I started watching it, and it was making me laugh already from like the very start of the movie. And I was like, okay, that's good. And when I read the thing, I was like, okay, this is sort of like Jumanji. Like, it's a supernatural Jumanji, which I thought was kind of cool. So like the idea is these four friends right here. All of them I love, by the way. All of them did fantastic jobs. And so this guy right here, uh right there, he picks up, his name's Cliff, and he picks up the I'm gonna need everybody's name, by the way, because I don't know actors' names and stuff. But yeah, so Cliff picks up a what is it? God, what are they called? Fuck, they said it like 20 times. Uh Basically a duvet or whatever, not duvet, god damn. Uh Whatever, like a cabinet kind of thing. And he was so proud of the cabinet and everything, and he picks up the cabinet and he ends up uh finding out that it was like a dresser drawer kind of thing. And he finds out there's a game inside of it, like a board game. And it's a drinking board game, which I don't know if anybody's ever made that. I don't know if that sounds like, they want to associate drinking with that stuff, but that actually sounded cool. So this one over here, Paul, he's getting divorced from his wife Alice, and they all know each other, they've all been friends. So and then this girl Sam, right up here, she is sort of becoming a superstar actress or something. Like she's in the business somehow. She has like an agent and she's doing some stuff, I think like reality and other stuff. And then there's lastly there's what was his name? Troy. And Troy did such a great job. I love him. So I'm gonna say everybody's name, real name. So Jim Mahoney played Paul. Sam was M.A. River Lampman. John Bass or Bass is Cliff, and Sarunas J. Jackson is Troy. Wondering if he's related to Samuel L. Jackson, but whatever. Probably not. Jackson's a very common name. And then Shelley Hennig is Alice. And Shelley Hennig, I remember from like Teen Wolf, and I think she was on like the Secret Circle show. So I was really excited. I was like, okay, this has a pretty decent cast. This guy this guy looks a little like Mac from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. And which if you yeah, so he he and he has a really cool like attitude. I liked him from it. And so all four of them get together because of the divorce. And Cliff invites everybody over without telling Paul. And then all of a sudden, they just decide, fuck it, she's being a bitch. Let's play the game. And when they play the game, it is so cool, so supernatural. Like, the next card that you pick up will actually be something, like if somebody says something, he'll be like, no, no, it is not this, or whatever. So it is like, completely supernatural. There's something going on with it. They first realize it when they kind of get, their hands tied together. What is it? What's that? God damn it. Troy and Sam get their hands tied together. And and all of these wacky things start happening. And what ends up happening is they start realizing a little bit more about each other, that they've been lying to each other, that they've been doing all these different things, and this game is exposing all their secrets basically because it knows everything. And so honestly, this is like, okay, so it kind of says there right there, like tell the truth or die. And that was sort of like, Truth or Dare, the movie that Blumhouse made. This is a much better version of that kind of thing. And this was done independently. This was done in like basically one house. Sometimes they go into other places and stuff, which is really neat. Um, like it would like make them go places or make them it was amazing. I like, for an indie film that I've never heard of, I was like, this movie, like, why isn't this more famous? Like, why hasn't more people like seen this? And so I was like, I'm very happy to be talking about it. It's obviously my first time watching it, and I fell in love. I like, it's a movie I could watch over and over again because I bet I would pick up new things each time too. Um, I'll talk about the directors and stuff. The director is Alberto Belli. And I've never heard of him, but he's done a few things. He's the director of a short called Afterlife Vacation. He directed a couple episodes of The House of Flowers, which I never heard of. The Hobbit Kingdom of Middle Earth Dance Battle short. So that sounds fun. Yeah, it seems like he's done a lot more comedy shorts and stuff. And he likes horror films. He's got a short film called Zombo and The Case of the Missing Garden Gnome. So that he just sounded like he had a lot of fun, and then he ended up making his first feature, and his first feature's freaking amazing. So I'm really excited for everything else he's doing. He's doing he's producing a show called Lateria, I think that he created. It's a drama. Um, Latinas, also LA Tinas. So and then the writer of this, and the direction, by the way, was so freaking good. Like there were shots that I was like, whoa, that looked like that was like slick. Like that was a Hollywood shot. Um, I keep saying that, but it it's so funny. Also, Jim Mahoney is the writer. So they both really worked really well together. And like when I say slick like that, like, something would move and then the next shot would be like similar to it, but like from a different place or something. Like it would be able to transition in a cool way, or things would just uh there's a part where they thought they could just leave the house and it kind of went right back in. And it's just done so freaking well. I don't know what the budget for this film was, but it seemed very low. And mainly because a lot of stuff that they did, they didn't need a lot of stuff, and most of it, and is them four. A lot of it's just them four in the house at night. So, I mean, I thought that was amazing. I don't know. This movie was shockingly great. And I say that like not like it couldn't have been great because, I know indie films and I know a lot of indie films on YouTube aren't very good. Like they just aren't. I mean, they do a lot, they put a lot of work and effort into it, and I do love reviewing them. And I was kind of expecting this to sort of be like that. I hate to say it. I was sort of because I'd never heard of it, and I don't know who Jim Mahoney is. I don't know who any of these people really are, but they did it except for Shelley, and she's in it for maybe 10, 20 minutes at the most. Um, but she did. I mean, once again, she was so good. Apparently he's on the Orville for 7 episodes, so all right. That's Jim Mahoney. And he was also the writer of a screenplay called The Main Event, one thing called Klaus, which is a cartoon. Wow. That had freaking Jason Schwartzman and stuff in it. Wow, Jim Mahoney's a busy a busy writer as well. He also wrote the Hobbit Kingdoms of Middle-earth dance battle, so I guess he was worked with uh the same director, Alberto Belli. So there you go. I mean, it's just to me, if you're looking for something really fun to watch, understand also this may not be other people's cup of tea because some of it they didn't get into the horror till later, really. Like horror did not come. And I mean, as horrifying as it is, it's not very scary. It's not a scary movie. It's more just like I said, it's like Jumanji. It's just like what, a fantasy idea of a board game coming to life and you having to deal with the consequences of the cards that you have. Like if you played Monopoly and you actually had to go directly to jail. Um, that actually would be a great idea for Monopoly the movie, is if some people are playing it and they actually end up doing all the things, that are on the board. I don't know. And that'd be to me that'd be the only way of making Monopoly into a movie because otherwise it'd kind of be boring. Um, but uh, you know, it was pretty fun. I liked I liked the supernatural twists. I liked the humor in it. I liked the characters. The direction was amazing. Like all of it was just great. The writing was fantastic. There was nothing I was like, oh my God, that's terrible. Like I thought everything fit and worked really well. These actors, I don't know if they all knew each other beforehand and they kind of all just, became part of the movie, but they were all so good. There were like I saw some reviews of this movie and people are complaining that it like went into like a serious tone at times. And I love that. Like I absolutely loved having like these emotional things because I actually did connect to the characters. And so all in all, I would say if you haven't seen Gatlopp, which apparently is Swedish for the gauntlet, is what they say. Uh I didn't know where it was gonna go with this necessarily because I didn't know if there was gonna be like the idea that the gauntlet there was sometimes in that people would have these mazes and then if one of them survived everybody lived or whatever and that I think that was a little bit of the game too. They all had to sort of survive with this game, and I think by sunrise, and they had to read all the rules and all this other stuff. So it was it was pretty fun. Like if you're down with watching a movie about playing games and drinking game too, like I mean, seeing some of the stuff that they were doing. I mean, obviously they didn't get too trashed or whatever. They couldn't really play the game. But they did a great job and it just and it had a great ending that I sort of I wasn't sure where it was gonna go, so I was glad it went the way it did. And all in all, I highly recommend this. If you haven't seen it, please go check it out because I think you won't regret it. So with that, I'll say thank you guys for checking this out. Join me next week for another First Time Watch Friday. And then once we get to 30 episodes, I think I'm gonna stop with the First Time Watch Fridays until January. And I think I'm gonna bring that back in about January, February, sometime around there. And then but until then, I think we're also gonna do I'm gonna bring back what is it, Wildcard Wednesdays or so. So we'll get some more videos going, but this channel won't be completely empty. But thank you guys for checking this out. Hope you enjoyed it, and let me know what you guys think. And have you seen Gatlopp? And did you enjoy it? Do you highly recommend it? I definitely do. All right, thank you guys. Bye.